Your specific person is getting ready to make the first move. So here's how we're going to manifest that "I can't stop thinking about you" text. And it all has to do with the concept of either being a creator or being a reactor. Sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking that we have to react to our reality, but really you are the one creating your reality. Everything outside of you is a reflection of you. What you are seeing and experiencing is all coming from within your assumptions, your beliefs, and your state of being. And I just wanted to go over a specific question someone asked me in a coaching session that I think would make for a fantastic video. So here was the question. They wrote, "Sometimes I wonder why my specific person hasn't showed up yet in my reality." And first off, you can imagine, okay, well, if we are looking for why it's not occurring, obviously it makes sense as to why we're not seeing results. But this question, and even if you've had it before, it's a proper question. Everyone will probably ask this at some point or another in their manifestation, but it accidentally implies a state of waiting, meaning you are thinking something outside of you is bringing you your specific person or any manifestation for that matter. But if you remember that you are not a reactor, you are a creator, you're going to realize that that is actually a really good question to ask yourself, because that question is asking of your reality of, okay, where is it? But you can't ask that about anything outside of you because everything is being reflected within. So instead of asking your reality, you might ask to yourself, yes, why do you feel as if your specific person or your manifestation has not shown up yet? And the crazy thing is you're going to immediately understand or get results. If you really think about it, you have to meditate on this sometimes, because if you're not in the state of living and feeling from the end, then it will be hard to understand. But in the state and you realizing that you are the creator, everything outside of you is happening in relation to your own assumption, then you'll understand or know why you haven't already manifested the "I can't stop thinking about you" text. It has everything to do with us and our beliefs. And the answer that you have to that question of why do you feel as if your specific person has not shown up yet, you're going to get a huge insight into your current state. And you're going to understand that we are actually, again, causing everything to happen in our reality. And thus we'll switch from that state of reacting to things outside of us and remember that we are creating. Because even when something shows up in your reality that you do not like, it makes no sense to actually look at it and go, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because you're not doing anything wrong. You are actively bringing what you are assuming to be in your reality. So if you see something outside of you that doesn't align with what you want, that's okay, right? It just has to do with our assumptions. So you can see that thing, totally kind of reject it. You don't actually have to give it any attention or energy, and just change your focus onto a state that you would actually like to be in. Because that's sometimes what causes us to be in this reactive cycle. We see something negative outside of us. We wonder, why did we cause that? We thus give it more attention, and then we thus create more of it. Again, creating a reactionary individual kind of mindset instead of a creator. You are creating. And I think one of the things that causes problems in this is not keeping your manifestation a secret, right? We're going to complain to others about what exactly is going on, what's happening, why it hasn't showing up. But this complaining absolutely does nothing. If you guys remember, in my 7-day challenge, I talked about the trick of, or the story of Neville and Barbados and Abdullah. Abdullah would absolutely refuse to talk to him about anything negative. And I think that's one of the main things causing us to ask that original question again of, so why hasn't my specific person shown up yet? But again, that's a good question for you. And I wanted to support this with the Neville Goddard quote because those are seemingly really, really useful in these videos. So Neville wrote, "Go tell no man, that is, do not discuss your ambitions or desires with another, for the other will only echo your present fears. Secrecy is the first law to be observed in realizing your desire." So when you ask that question of where is my specific person, in your reality, whoever you are discussing that with is only going to send back your current fears. That's the only thing that they could do, because as well as your specific person and your manifestation, everyone around you is just reflecting exactly your state of being. So asking that can actually do no good unless you ask that of yourself. And as I mentioned, I know this seems strange, but just bear with me for a moment and start to contemplate that idea of, why do you feel as if your specific person hasn't showed up yet? Is there any portion of ourselves that aren't acting in this state? Is there anything we're doing that's actually giving us the sense of being single rather than being in a relationship? Is there anything we're doing in the sense of chasing our specific person rather than letting them obsess over you, right? Because then whatever state you're emitting and being is going to be the reflective reality that you experience. And as well as this, I wanted to give a success story from one of my videos that I thought fit this perfectly. So it's actually from my "If you won't do it, I'll manifest your specific person for you" video. So I'll put it up on the screen. They wrote, "Watch this video last night after my specific person told me he lost feelings towards me." So already we're in a bad situation. This person could have went and complained and worried and did whatever, but they didn't. They went to one of my videos and they wrote, "This morning he cried and said how wrong he was and said he'd like to go back to how things were. Thank you." So that's a good example of how we can move, and instead of asking our reality of where is it, but become then the creator of our reality and actually alter things around us rather than keeping them exactly the same. Because the more we are in a reaction feeling, the more we will just experience the same things over again. So if you're asking yourself, where is that text from my specific person, "I can't stop thinking about you," that is a good question for you, right? That is a great question. Why are we not already in this state? Why are we doing this? But again, it's all a process, so don't feel like it's bad. Or if you ask a question to yourself and you're not fully like getting it or understanding it, take some time and contemplate your end. You can sit for just a moment, think about something amazing that you're going to do and be and have when you are already with your specific person. And that's going to be one of the most powerful ways to get you into the state and have you truly in the state of understanding your divine guidance. Because when you are in a state of divine guidance, you are going to see what you should do, how you should do it, and you will be guided to do just exactly that. So keep that in mind. So again, if this is confusing and you're like, "I've asked that question to myself, but I don't get it," get into the state first. And it's literally, you don't have to do anything. There's nothing outside of you that you have to do. All you have to do is think about and contemplate, imagine yourself in your end state, and then ask yourself that question, and you'll be given the exact answer. You'll know exactly what to do, how to do it. And again, though, because one of the hardest parts of divine guidance is understanding what is correct and what is incorrect. But anything that feels good and confident and positive and aligns with the emotions that you would feel if you already had your specific person, that's what we want to go for. That's how we want to react. That's what we want to do. And then keep everything a secret. And I know that sounds crazy because obviously in these videos we're working together. So maybe keep it a secret from anyone you feel would kind of support your negative thoughts, because I'm not going to do that in these videos. You have the ability to create your entire reality, and I know you do. So in these videos or on these comments, or if we're working together or with any other manifestation coach that you're working with, you can be okay, or it is okay to talk to them about your manifestation, because obviously we need to learn about it. Being in these videos isn't a negative thing if we are using them in a constructive way. But if we are complaining about our manifestation, again, sometimes I don't want to say that we can never complain about it, because there's actually times in which expressing your emotions is really, really good for manifestation. So if you're crying, you're worrying, you're stressing, you're complaining, sometimes it's a perfect time for that. So don't feel like you can never do it, and if you do it, you're messing up your manifestation, because sometimes you can actually release those emotions and you feel like a million times better. So don't feel bad if you cried recently of your specific person. We're all going to do that at some point or another, and it's perfectly fine. We're all in the same boat together. But if that becomes a consistent thing, like over and over again, then we can ask ourselves, okay, are we doing this to kind of release emotion, or is it becoming our natural and habitual state? We just don't want it to be our natural and habitual state. So if that's how you're feeling, go back to yourself, focus your energy on yourself, imagine your end state, and you're going to feel so much better. And then it would be at that point when you'd want to act out that secrecy concept, where you would want to not talk to anyone about your manifestation, because they're only repeating back your fears and your negative beliefs, and thus perpetuating the cycle. Don't be a reactor, be a creator. If you did have any questions on this video, make sure to comment them in the comment section below. If you liked it and loved it, and you know you're going to act this out and get that "I can't stop thinking about you" text, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. And then don't forget to subscribe as well. If you did want to send me a personal question or message or anything that you didn't want to comment down below, make sure to head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. And that's where you can reach me personally. Thank you again so much for stopping by today. Hopefully you're you're loving the videos recently, I'm actually going out of town for the weekend. So I made all of these videos. They might be a little quicker than normal. I think they're kind of the same. I put the same amount of effort, time, and information in them just so we can still be acting this out, and while I'm away, that you guys can still be moving towards your manifestation. Because again, you are just a moment away from manifesting exactly what you want. As always, I can't wait to see your specific person's success story in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you in my next video tomorrow.